Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to just use your initials M, and I'm going to listen to your integrated speaking practice test. And I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So here we go. Now, if I remember correctly on this one, you have two students are discussing the syllabus for Professor Jones' class, and specifically the requirements for his writing assignments with an emphasis on the page length requirements. Am I right? So let's see what you say.
According to the conversation, the students have a problem about the professor is not flexible regarding how long requirements for the research paper. The student says that
not necessarily have a problem. Let's go back to the conversation here. So it says, how flexible do you think our professor is regarding the requirement? So they don't have a problem yet. They're trying to get used to what the professor's requirements are. So I think in the beginning, if you just say, well, the two students discuss the writing assignment requirements for Professor Jones' class, and specifically how flexible he is regarding the page length requirement. That would be probably a little bit better approach to the beginning of it.
The professor mentions that the research paper should be 6 to 7 pages long.
You might want to say, according to the students, the research paper, or in the syllabus, it's, I guess, the professor writes.
The student states that he know the students took Professor Jones' class last semester and all of them got 65. Student states that he know the students took Professor Jones' class should be 6 to 7 pages long. Also, the student states that he know the students took Professor Jones' class last semester and all of them got 65% out of 100 because one.
Now, all of them, if you look back at the script, I don't think it's all of them, but it says, according to Speaker A, I know someone who took Professor Jones' class last semester, and he said his research paper, which was 5.5 pages long, received a score of 65. So not all of the students, one student received a failing grade because his paper was too short. So be careful when you're paraphrasing someone else's information. Make sure you don't misrepresent it.
One of them gave the professor 5.5 pages, and another student gave him 7.5 pages.
You want to say 7.5 pages. Once you say 7, you have to make pages plural.
Finally, the students prefer to be their papers are at least 6 pages and no.
Now here's a question. What happened to the student whose paper was longer? You see what I'm saying? So I think it says here, I know of another student whose paper was 7.5 pages long, and that paper also failed because it was too long. So you want to make sure that you mention that idea. That's important.
Longer than 7. In my opinion, the student should receive the professor 6 to 7 pages for 2 reasons. First of all, the professor has knowledge about
Okay, let's go back to what you're saying here.
2 to 7 pages for 2 reasons.
6 to 7 pages. Again, make pages plural.
First of all, the professor has knowledge about a number of pages that students should write them. Second of all, if the students follow the...
So if the professor has knowledge of how many pages a paper should be, then how does that affect your argument?
Professor's instruction, they get a high score.
Okay, so that's a pretty good argument. The second idea there, the first one I wasn't exactly clear what you're trying to say. All right, let's take a look at the rubrics here. So we have a score of 1 to 4, 4 being 30 out of 30. For you, I'm going to put you in the 2 range here. We have, I think, topic development. You had some problems explaining the ideas accurately. That was a little bit of a difficulty for you in certain parts of your response. So you have to be careful about that. Overall, I think in terms of your grammar and your language use, you seem to have fairly good control of your vocabulary and your grammar. Intelligibility is something you need to really work on right now. And one of the first things I would do is to continue to work in the pronunciation lessons of my course, focusing on intonation, which is pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. That's going to be very helpful for you because right now you're not really varying your tone that much. You're speaking in more of a monotone. Okay, I'm going to put you at about 2.3 out of 4, or 18 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Now, if you look into the syllabus on page 9, a 2.3 for speaking, this is going to put you at 80% on this assignment. All right, anyway, thank you for completing the assignment.